Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of G for G, Games for Gamers. Today we are in Marvel Avengers Alliance for the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance, the week in MAA. This is 11/21/2014. So, we are taking a look at a gold sale that is currently going on, and the item that they give you for free is a kind of vanilla scrapper suit, except for the fact that it has 2 ISO slots. It doesn't do anything else, but you can fit 2 ISOs in there. Honestly, it's a little tougher for a scrapper to get 2 really good ISOs, but you could do it with, if you're running a melee heavy agent, you would definitely want to run the increased attack one, and maybe something like increased attack and Skull Thumper, increased attack and immune to stun. There's a few combinations, but, you know, so if you're in the market for gold, of course the sale's always a decent time to get it, but I don't think you would really want to get gold just to get the item. So we have PvP 17 on us. Gamma has ended, and kind of to wrap up Gamma, what did we see a lot of there? I saw a lot of Beast and Red Hulk, and Iron Fist was absolutely everywhere that I looked. He was like in everything. He's become the scrapper Blue Suit Quicksilver for me. And this kind of is annoying because I like running the book, and I have a strategy running on the AoE flanked book. And there are some definite try-hardy schmucks here on the first page. I fought somebody who was already up at 1445, and this is going to be a pain in the ass. I got a victory on him, and it really helped me gain some nice points over there. But it's pretty stupid to be that try-hardy on the first day, because the only thing that does is set you up for disappointment when you have huge losses after that. And what's going on? Okay, there we go. And of course the other thing is it's a little bit helpful in the fact that you help people gain ranks off of you early on. So at this point, I could set up the flanked, or I could set up the Blackest Void. I'm going to set up the Blackest Void, because I want their debuffs gone. Their buffs gone, actually. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of single target this round. I want to apply Nano Plague to these guys to make sure they don't continue to gain their buffs. I hate the way he spams that. That's all he does. So now this is somewhat risky, but I'm going to do it because it's a lot of damage it's going to go out over there. And yes, it connected, but only one of the hits. And there we go. That made the risk worth it. Hopefully he does something like just... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Haha, nice. Alright, so we're going to gain... Now we're going to flank them over here. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. We know Fandral is not... Oh, he is running on guard. I guess they can't get purged off. Alright, so since I really don't have anything else to do, and I don't want to get depowered, I'm just going to reapply that. And no, it hit him. It didn't really look like it. Oh, what the? Ah, you cheese bucket. That's the Coulson's revenge. Alright, he's going to die to dots. So I want to go single target here on Fandral, so now he can't heal. I am doing a lot of damage to this team. I have a feeling these guys are really low on the defense, and nice. He missed 2 of my people. I will take that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and Fatal Blow him here. Alright, so that plan worked out really well. The agent just died. We'll do the improbability field. And I do want to go ahead and apply the flanked book to him. And I will show you why I'm doing that when Angel comes up. I don't want him use... Ooh, what's he gonna do? Wow, he's really douching it up using his bruiser abilities, going for Angel over there. He's probably not in range of death, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure he can't use his own tankard. And there's the wide open. Of course, he's hurt from the bleeds. We'll reapply this, which will guarantee crits on my team because of the ISO over there. And we will just fatal blow him to death. So this is why you don't really want to go all try-harding on the first day. So, alright, he's running a somewhat of a defensive loadout on his items. He had more health than me, we saw that. He had more attack than me, but this is why I was able to damage him pretty well. And he was not very evasive either, even though I did miss a bunch of attacks. Not even really good items over here. He's running some pretty old items, but he's really knows what he's doing here with the blasters, and he's even made Deadpool a blaster. He's done it with Iceman. So this guy's really going for the punch out, and you can see that with the Coulson's Revenge. But, you know, that's a nice little ladder jump there for me. And still haven't lost a character yet. This guy over here, Albrad, I don't... There was something about this battle that really bothered me, and I think I'm going to file a ticket on it. He's actually up at 1445, and he was running the Cosmic Cardinal, and it was really douching out on me. I got one or two lucky misses there where it didn't hit me, but I applied the Mystic to him. There is no reason why this Cosmic Cardinal fired when it did, because he was debuffed at the time with obsolete tech. Ranged energy tech. This should not be allowed to fire, even if it's just simply, you know, a follow-up. I don't know why that happened. And as you can see here, everybody is unranked. So he's maybe running Kang on offense over here. Possibly. But you can see why this guy was skewed on attack. Coulson's Revenge. He's trying to pull people into attacks over there. So, let's look at the rewards. We have 100k silver, 10 gold. We have this interesting little trinket over here called the Rune of Resolve. It is one ally. It's up every turn. It's buff and it's magic, so it can become a quick item with the Snappy Service. It's subtle, tenacious. You can use it while stunned, kind of like Iron Fist. You resist radiation exposure, and you are covered. The target is covered, taking 50% less damage from all attacks. If you are stunned, the Rune of Resolve applies resist radiation exposure, covered in shield to all of your allies. I think this will have a really good setup in Guardians of the Galaxy groups that have that survival training, immune to fatal blow, and now 50% less damage from all attacks. Really, really, really could see that show up in that kind of a team. Vibranium League gives you the Scrapper suit, not to be confused with the one on sale. This is the 5th generation Scrapper suit, not 5th, fist, by the icon there. You are immune to winded permanently, and you have a chance to prevent and counter enemy counterattacks and follow-up attacks. Next attack applies wide open. So this really could be the death of my flanked book, and it could also be the death of Quicksilver. Not Quicksilver, Iron Fist. Which would be really nice. I'm so tired of seeing him. I may put the Neuropurge in my offense somewhere. And Karnak is the reward. So let's look at Karnak and Fixer. First, we'll look at the Fixer quest over here. I have 5 lockboxes, and that is my 5 victories. You will also get, you get 1 per victory, but you get 5 when you complete this. And you fight 20 PvP battles, along with winning 5 in order to get 5. The practice simulator counts. I will probably knock off some of those remaining 14, maybe in the simulator later, when I get Morbius trained to 6, and I use him with somebody I got in mind, but more on that. So let's look at Morbius and Fixer. There's my Blade going on 11, my Morbius going on 6. Karnak and Fixer is who I want to take a look at now. Fixer is the long-lost cousin of Omega Sentinel. These two are clearly from the same family, and I think they could pair up well with each other. He is a blaster, a tactician, and an infiltrator. Omega Sentinel is a tactician, a bruiser, and a scrapper. Aside from generalist, you have everybody in those 2 characters. What a absolute toolbox, haha, no pun intended, that will become. Let's look at his passive. Cybernetic, immune to bleeding, burning, chilled, obsolete, tech, very high crit resistance. He blows up when he's defeated. I really want to see how much damage it does. All allies deal extra damage with technology attacks. Yeah, that's your Iron Patriots, your Rescues, your Iron Mans, your Omega Sentinels, some of your Cables, some of your Rocket Raccoons, some of your Star-Lord. I think, no, Star-Lord actually doesn't have tech. I keep thinking he does, but he doesn't. It's an element gun. It seems like when Playdom released Kang, and they listened to people who were like, you know, the Mystic just makes Kang sit there in his own little time vortex diddling himself while he gets destroyed. It seems like Playdom fixed, haha, second pun, with that. It seems like they fixed that for the Fixer. So basically, here he is. He's very easy to sum up. He has a switcher in a level 6, he has a shield at a level 9, and he has a mine at the level 2. Automated fire is his blaster level 1. It's deadly crits. Everything in level 1 blows up a mine. So if a mine's on an enemy, the level 1 blows it up. So we'll skip that. Exploits the shields, and it does shield slam. His level 9 on every iteration is a shield. It just changes as to what the shield does. His level 2 is a mine. The first mine is his blaster 1. It does Paragon exploitation, and it exploits attrition. More on that. His shield absorbs damage and reduces damage by 30%. Nice if he's covered, man. He's 80% reduction. In his tactical outfit, he detonates mines. It does locked on. It does weak point to one enemy. Perfect shot. The next range attack he does deals more damage. Chemical mine. You think attrition. You think, oh, chemical, poison, bio. Nope. This is his Paragon debuffs over here. Dizzy, slowed, dizzy, exposed, slowed, weakened, incapacitation. His shield over here restores health and stamina, very similar to this chickie down here's training, so potentially good for invisible woman groups. But it's to himself. Sonic Cannon, it is an AoE infiltrator attack. It is catastrophic. It causes opportunistic debuffs to all enemies. I think this will be a very underrated aspect of his personality. I don't think you're going to really see this used that much because he doesn't have any ability to exploit opportunities. You can do it, but he can't do anything with it. And that's where your Hank Pyms and your Anti-Venoms and people like that, Star-Lord, come into play. This mine, this is where you have the attrition, 1 to 2 stacks of bleeds, 1 to 2 stacks of radiation. Defensive measures. This shield says the enemy will not activate their class ability if he attacks. So if he hits a scrapper, he's not going to do the follow-up. Now, this is different than Winded. Here's why. Winded means the scrapper gains the benefit, but then has something that dampens it. So in other words, you have cancer, it's in remission. This thing says you never get it to begin with. So a bruiser just simply doesn't become enraged. A blaster does not crit. A tactician will not gain an extra attack. So it's just, it sort of negates it before it ever happens, rather than allow it to happen and then counter it. Karnak is an inhuman. You can see here, oh yeah, his stats. Let's look at that real quick. Kind of okay health, really poor stamina. Very high attack, good defense and accuracy, poopy evasion. You're probably going to want to go health, attack, defense and accuracy, and ignore the evasion. He's probably going to need a tweak of stamina in there somewhere. Karnak is an inhuman. He's a conehead. He has a passive that says Beldar and Nardar. No, I'm just kidding. Probably dated myself there anyway. Attuned, he takes reduced damage from follow-ups and counterattacks. He's a scrapper, so unless you're running an infiltrator, he shouldn't really be taking follow-ups, but counters, yeah. God damn you, Iron Fist, go to hell. Sixth Sense, chance to preemptively counter an ally when an ally is being attacked, and the chance is increased if the ally is inhuman. So that works out really well with your Black Bolt, your Thane, your Medusa, your Gorgon. Gorgon is this guy's butt buddy. They're both exceptionally melee oriented. They both would benefit from Steps of Shaolu, and yeah, I'm going to show you how these guys really need to be paired together. His stats. Health is good. Stamina is very good. I mean, that's like, wow, 4 bars there. Stamina, that's unnecessary. His attack is great. His defense is crap. His accuracy is crap. And his evasion is very good. Which, you know, means that he's going to avoid a lot of his attacks, which makes sense for a martial artist. But if you're going to hit him, you're going to crush him. You look at that accuracy and you're like, man, how is a martial arts expert so low on accuracy? He should be very... Oh, I looked at his abilities. Oh boy, that's why. You are an absolute idiot if you put any accuracy on Karnak whatsoever. There is simply no need. This is not like a Quicksilver or somebody else who gains a increased accuracy by something that they do, so you kind of don't need it, but you still do for the crits. You do not need it for Karnak. Any way, shape, or form. You could drop him to 0 accuracy. It doesn't matter. Everything is a guaranteed hit except for the cube, reality hacking, and a guaranteed crit. That's what you need accuracy for. Hitting your target, critting your target. If you're gonna do both every time you do something, you don't need accuracy. You could pretend it doesn't even exist. So that means you could take the PKB method of health, attack, and then accuracy along with one of the defensive items, and take his accuracy and bump it into the other defensive items. So you could go health and attack, defense and evasion. Great. Brilliant. Amazing. I cannot believe Playdom's doing that. It could be very interesting. Level 1 causes a disadvantage. Level 2 starts cooldown, just like Beast. Buh. Weak point, combo setup, wide open, all enemies. Let me compare that to Hogun over here. I want to see something. Yeah, so it's probably going to be cooldown as long as Beast. This says cooldown for 2... Yeah, it'll probably be up on the same schedule as Beast. That sucks. But here we have dip, dodge, duck, dive, and if you can dodge a wrench, you're still not going to dodge Karnak. Probe, leverage, and blow. Pressure points to one enemy, remove buffs to that enemy. Shatter Strike is your Paragon Exploiter, along with Fatal Blow. This is why Stress Point is not available at the beginning of the match. Because you could quick action somebody and Shatter Strike them. immediately, and you might potentially kill them. Especially people who are weaker than you. See, you're already dead is the flavor text. Here's what I think is the perfect team up with Karnak. Gorgon, Mystic, Steps of Shaolu, the Cube, the Flanked Book. Here's why. Put Fractured Flaw. Give him the AISO that says pressure points on melee attacks. Stress point, nothing you could do. Probe leverage and blow. I would maybe say on this one, wide open would be good over here. And in round 1, you wide open somebody. You follow it up with Fractured Flaw that creates the pressure points. Round 2, Shatter Strike. There you go. And that is probably the end of that person. Over here on Gorgon, again, well, he's, yeah, all of his stuff is unarmed. 2 of his stuff is melee. 2 of it is ground/unarmed. But, if we look at some things that can go over there, you have Erupting, which means you can hit ground targets. You have the Bleeding. You have the unarmed action applies pressure points. So, think of how well you could set up Karnak with Gorgon in the book. The book says everybody's flanked. Gorgon's level 2 is his follow-up attack. So what you could do is you could do the wide open over here, and you could do the pressure points over here, which is going to hit every single enemy. He Paragon exploits too. Ta-da! Who else is Karnak going to go to bed with? Morbius. I have him as level 5 going on 6. Blade is 10 going on 11. Morbius works really, really well with mind control, psychic debuff type people. The ones that jump off the page there are Spider-Woman. She's very good for that. Loki. Omega Sentinel has one ability. I want to try him with Phantom X, and here is why. I just recently dinged my Phantom X to 14 specifically for Morbius. You put On Call over here. For Phantom, it is ranged and gun. You put Perfect Shot over here. And Lone Z, you know, maybe tech upgrade. And Diabolique, you apply the wide open. Or not the wide open one over here. The one that's like wide open for ranged. Lock on is what I was thinking. So you put lock on over there. And, so you have Perfect Shot. With the book, he leads with Phantom that creates the Disoriented. He follows up with Diabolique, which applies Locked On, Target Focused, all allies gain increased accuracy. So now you have somebody who is disoriented. If he hits his own team, Phantom X has a chance to join in. While he's still disoriented, Morbius will be doing more damage. Morbius, if you're running the flanked book, can apply Mesmerize, which has the psychic debuffs over here, and then he turns around and follows up with the very thing that exploits them. Oh my god, 2 for the price of 1 and exploitation. If you run the flanked book, the rocket pistol, the mystic and the cube, Phantom X and Morbius, that is a phenomenal team up right there. Mesmerize goes out, he follows it up with Fly By Night. If somebody hits their own team because of Morbius or the Blackest Void, Phantom X follows up. You have increased accuracy, you have a summons that is a quick action, you have stealth. If he hits bleeders, he's guaranteed to crit. He does deadly crits over here, and if the person is bleeding and is flanked, he's hit with the Mesmerize, he's hit with the Fly By Night, this person is in serious trouble. You could even apply the Vampiric Strike over here because it's slashing, so now he'll heal himself. if the person is bleeding. Look at that. Deadly crits, bleeding, healing, exploitation. Wrap it up. Game's over. Yes, he's an infiltrator. And, you know, there is another infiltrator that works out really well with him. If you have the ISO, spirals, dances are all available at the same time. All enemies are disoriented and you gain epiphany. It's risky because you have 2 infiltrators, but it's a good way of getting disoriented out to everybody. And as you can see, there is no percentage there, which means it's 100% under normal circumstances. So Blackest Void and X-Force Spiral, really, really nice setups for Morbius over there. And, you know, if you run the rocket pistol, you have Seduction, you have Loki's Staff. Seduction is really good because it does 2 of the abilities that Morbius exploits, but it has a 4-round cooldown, which is absolute, complete crap bullshit. It doesn't need to be that long. So, heard a ding on Steam. It's probably the girlfriend. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video now. And there is the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance for November 21st. We have covered PvP Season 17, the wrap-up of Gamma, which was a lot of Red Hulks and Beasts, and a lot of goddamn Iron Fists. We've got the gold sale, we've dealt with the items from PvP 17, we've dealt with the heroes, and we've dealt with the heroes from the Spec Ops. 3 days left, get your gear. Hope you enjoyed the video here on G4G Games for Gamers. Take care.